Hi everyone. Today we're talking about data classes. We have barely begun to scratch the surface of what classes can do in Python. There are lots of other dunder or double underscore methods that you could write that will give your classes additional functionality. A couple of them include EQ, LT, those are both short for equal or less than respectively. And then there's also something called the repr. So this is going to be the last dunder method that we look at for classes because I think it'll help frame data classes a little bit better. So here I've removed the two methods that we use for calculating the area and the circumference, and I've only written in the dunder stir and the dunder repr methods. If we print this directly and we take a look at the results, you'll see that it actually uses the stir method when we try to print out the circle directly. But if we actually tack on here the dunder repr method call, then we can see that it uses the string that we provided in the dunder repr method. One more way that you could do this, instead of adding that to the end, you could just wrap this with the built-in function repr, and you'll see that we also get the repr version as well. The difference between stir and repr in this case is this is what you would want the user of your program to see, and this is a format that generally we want to see as the developer or the programmer. It's a little bit more bare bones. It just tells us that this is a circle object and the radius is equal to 3. Now, the reason why I wanted to show you that is because when you convert the circle object to a data class, well, you get the repr version for free. The way that you would do this is you would import the data class object from the data classes module. Technically, data class is something called a decorator. We're not really going to go into how decorators work. Just know that the way that you use it is with the at symbol in front of the word data class, and you put this directly above your class definition. This means that the data class decorator will apply to the class circle. Notice there's way less typing in this version. Instead of having to do the dunder init method, you simply write the name of the attribute and you have to give it the type hint for data classes to work. So here a radius can be any float, which remember is just any number with a decimal point, but it also includes integers. If I run this code, you can see I get that nice repr version for free. I don't have to write anything. I don't have to add in the repr method. Here we have the complete circle class. Once we've converted it to a data class, we no longer have to write the init method. Again, we just use the attribute that we're looking for and the associated type hint. I've added back those methods that we wrote for calc area and calc circumference. You can still add the dunder stir method into your data class, and then you can see the difference between these two. Here I'm going to print out my circle directly, and then I'm going to print out my circle plus the dunder repr method. You'll see here the stir method gives us a circle with a radius of 3, while the dunder repr method gives us this circle with the radius equals 3 format. To hopefully help this sink in just a little bit more, here we have the point class. So we've created a new class. It's called point. And again, this is camel case. If we do it this way, we do have to write the dunder init method ourselves. The two attributes that we're going to have are x and y, and then we assign those as attributes to our future objects with self.x equals x and self.y equals y. If we do it this way and we want to have a representation, then we have to code it ourselves with dunder repr. And if we do this and I print out the point, I get point x equals 2 and y equals 4. Okay, so our class works just like we've seen before. Let's convert the point class to a point data class. This is it. We import data classes. We use the data class decorator. This line is exactly the same. I have a class that I'm calling point, and this time I don't have to do the dunder init. I don't have to do the dunder repl. I simply say, okay, my attribute x is going to be an int using a type hint. My attribute y is also going to be an int using the type hint. And you can see I get the repr version for free. I no longer have to code it. Hopefully this helped you understand how you can write a data class using much less code initially. Good luck on today's bite.